Guess who's back? Back again. Juljas back. Tournament. So here we are once again in the tournament mode, where I'm gonna verse every non-special unit against each other. So I'll first go off in the style of infantry, all against each other. Always weakest against second weakest. Then the winner of that fights against the winner of the third versus fourth. Kind of makes sense. Then in the end, I'll have infantry versus cavalry, artillery versus navy. Yes, I'm gonna add navy. And then all these units will find out which is the best. First off, we'll start off with the infantry, where we will put let's find if I got a militia somewhere. A militia versus light infantry, as seen here by the Germans. Those are the two cheapest units in this game, I think. So it will be interesting to find out who of these boys is the best. So we know everybody of us is rooting for the militia. Let's do it militia, have the first hit. And instantly he takes more damage. What a wonder. The light infantry is hitting back again, doing a slightly bit amount of more damage. We would not have expected that. It is absolute wonder. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. But now he died. Okay, so the next round we have light infantry advancing. We shall have the LMG light machine gunner versing off against the new infantry. Get this duel started. The light infantry going for the first hit, doing as expected a bit less. Now these first few stages probably will be quite logical. You'll just see the suspected candidates fall out, but actually the light infantry, the light machine gunners just did more damage because they critted. Let's see how it continues. A bit more damage for the new infantry, but this is actually closer than expected. Let's look if there's any new crits. No. The light machine gunners definitely need a crit. They aren't getting it. They looked like they had a chance for a second there, but the new infantry shall pull this one off, I expect. Except if the light machine gunners do an absolute madness, which they do not. And there we have it, new infantry advances. So in the next duel we'll have the new infantry versus the light infantry, and they'll be facing the only infantry they're like, because there's always 4 units of each type, except infantry they have one more, which is the heavy machine gunner. So I'll let these two face off, and then the heavy machine gunner decide this battle. As it is customary in sports, I did attack by accident by new infantry first. Well, the duel has begun. Poor light infantry was screwed either way from the beginning, but now they get extra screwed. New infantry doing a ton more damage. Absolutely no surprise. This is a bit more devastating than I had expected. But it's no wonder, since light infantry is a savage. And there we have it. Light infantry advances to the final of the infantry. New infantry, obviously. As it always is, the weaker unit gets it. So new infantry. Let's see what you got in store. Can you do more damage against the machine gunner? I doubt it. I don't think infantry will produce any surprises. Well, what a wonder the strongest unit is winning. But I'm not sure it's going to be everywhere the same. I have to say, I am doubting that. But here in infantry, it looks like no surprises whatsoever. No surprises whatsoever. There's no special unit which can challenge. Ooh, I mean, they are still alive right now. New infantry, do it. They will die. They died. Again, a bit closer than expected. But here we have the supreme infantry unit, which beats everyone in the duel. We have the heavy machine gunner going into the semi-finals. Same with cavalry now. First, we have the German light cavalry, special in no damage against no armor units and light armor units. They are versing off versus the hunting cavalry, which I honestly think is quite a trash unit. So let's see how they both do. The stage is set. The light infantry cavalry versus the hunting cavalry. Let's see what they do. Oof, terrible first hit for the light cavalry. It's already setting the stage for what is going to probably happen here. They're massacring my boy. Oh, come on, let's get at least one surprise in this video. This can't be, it's just absolutely normal. Get it? Oh my god, the light cavalry is getting melted by the hunting cavalry. Oh my god. That was the biggest upset we have seen till now. Let's go into the next duel, where we have the breastplate cavalry versus the armor car. Now, can I produce any armor car? Otherwise we'll have to go in somewhere else. Go into neutral territories. Oh my god, I left too many units standing around here. Okay, breastplate, you get the first hit. I really do not expect an upset in this one. I mean, they're getting destroyed. The armor car going mad. This might be a similar upset to the, oh my god, the light cavalry. Oh my god, they're getting melted. They are getting melted. Just for simplicity's sake, I'll know this one's gonna go over really easy, so we're just gonna do this quickly. I know that The hunting cavalry has a disadvantage, but do we really believe that the hunting cavalry would win against a light armored truck? Yeah, just look at this. This is just no comparison. I'm just gonna Raj B and this. And here we have the strongest cavalry unit from the normal units, the armored car. Don't know how it would look if the tank will be added, but not every nation has a tank, so it's not technically a normal unit. The armored car will be facing the heavy machine gunner in the semi-final. Let's go on to artillery. Here built the mortar, which will be facing the light artillery. Obviously the light artillery have an advantage since you can hit from a distance. So I do not believe that the mortar is one of the units which will cause any disturbance in the force. There's so much more mobility. Okay, let's go. Mortar hitting first. They'll have to do some crazy... Oh, that looks like a go beginning, not getting hit back. Interesting mortar, interesting. Light artillery though can always hit without getting hit back, so that's nothing special. The mortar really has to hope for some crazy... No counters. I mean, look at this. They're getting lucky here. Getting lucky rolls right now. Getting lucky rolls. Continuing hits. Again, as always, light artillery doesn't get hit back. What does the mortar counter? The mortar gets countered. That's probably the death note for the mortar. They were having a chance, but now I don't feel like anymore. They had to every single turn. They would have had to have a no counter this time. They got countered. They will need a lot of crits. They need luck. They need everything. They look like they're on the deathbed. Let's give them the final blow, but they are dead. Mortars are out. Now, how? This is now, to me, is probably the biggest question. How is the howitzer going to face off against the field artillery? This is honestly super interesting because I feel like the howitzer might actually go... They might have this one. They might have this one on the hat. Howitzer always goes close because then they can't get countered. Let's start this duel. Ooh, the light howitzer going off as a strong start. The field artillery needs a crit and not hitting back. They get hit back. Oof, 98. The howitzer looks on ropes. Can't believe it. They're getting milked. I even forgot to go close. No, there's no chance. Oh, I made a mistake here, but it doesn't matter. They are getting milked. I mean, not like that. The howitzer absolutely smoked the field gun. That was crazy. That was freaking crazy. Field artillery, no chance against howitzer. That means in my generals video, I definitely should have used howitzers. My gosh. Okay, as always, customary in sport. The weaker units go first, they will get smoked. Trying to go for a sneaky one, gets hit back. That's already a big first blow. They already wasted their first turn. Let's just see the howitzer go crazy. 48. I don't see the light artillery coming back except if they get crits and they get hit back. A lot has to come really well for light artillery. And they would be super surprising if they would somehow pull this out of the bag. They already are over half damaged. This isn't looking too great for them. They aren't getting hit back though. They still technically have a chance. Not looking great though. Not looking great. 57. I mean, they at least are honorable and brought over half health. But this is going to be it. They actually are countering, but it just can't be enough. Can't be enough. This might be a turn they get finished. Not yet. Next turn they're done. So here you have it. Dominant artillery force is the howitzer. I am not surprised. On to the Navy, where our first duel is the illustrious U-boat, which technically is quite a good unit. It is facing the destroyer. So let's see what the U-boat can do. As always, the U-boat's going to get the first hit. U-boat from Britain versus the Austro-Hungarian destroyer. Now, the U-boat might actually be a little bit of an interesting one, since they never get hit back. They do quite good damage, but 92 initial is quite a painful damage to take. The U-boat trying to hold along. The U-boat actually getting a good hit in there. Let's look at the destroyer does. 100. Oof, that might be it. 105. That was a very, very lucky roll, I feel like. The U-boat was doing its best, even getting a crit off, but the crit right now at this HP is not very devastating. U-boat still alive for this second, but they're gonna die right now. I mean, they still get one hit in. Honorable, a very honorable U-boat. Your time has come. Best, do your damage. Hit first, don't get countered. 67, no counter. And the question is, will somebody start burning? Battleship going back, they do get countered. And they lose morale, but the frigate getting set on fire, that might be a big, big issue. Getting countered as well, but the battleship technically already took more damage right now. Getting countered again. The frigate is still in this. The frigate, I somehow can't imagine it. Yeah, the fire took its toll. The fire is taking its toll. That will probably take out the frigate. They still are, did a very, very honorable job. Very, very honorable, but they get sunk here. I mean, it could have gone the other way around if the frigate actually would have gotten, if the battleship would have been set on fire. So, I mean, very valiant effort. Obviously, the last duel, which will just be a bit of a massacre. The poor little destroyer versus a battleship. Even though it's a British destroyer versus Austro-Hungarian battleship, it's still a battleship. And they already have XP. Now, they need a very, very lucky first hit. It has to be no counter and set on fire. Didn't get it, but no counter at least. What does the battleship answer? It answers with more damage. I mean, it's a fair answer, to be fair. I mean, what are you going to say? Just give me more damage. The destroyer trying to circle around, trying them on fire. No chance. No chance. Battleship going in hard. Frigate even being set on fire. Not frigate. I'm always saying frigate. I mean the destroyer. Destroyer was setting on fire. Oh yeah. Getting countered. That's going to be the end. That was a terrible turn for them. Even though it's the British, the destroyer got sunk. Rest in peace. And now we have the semi-finals. Let's see how this one goes. This might be quite interesting actually. First off, we have the armor car versus the heavy machine gunner. So this time I'm going to let the infantry hit first, since I feel like they might have a bit of a disadvantage. Let's see how it goes. Getting hit back, getting more damage. This is not looking great from the get-go. This is not looking great from the get-go. The infantry is getting stomped. They're trying their best, doing the biggest damage they can, but that was brutal. Didn't even take half damage. Well, armor car is in the finals. Oof, I am struggling right now to find a possible scenario to play these ones. I am very, very, very disappointed to tell you people that it won't be possible to simulate the Navy versus the artillery in full. So what I have to do is just use the destroyer in the Russian campaign against the Ottomans here versus a... don't even have, they have a howitzer. So I mean, this is the best I can do. I'm very, very sorry. I hope this would have gone better, but well, that means probably the howitzer by default is going to advance to the final. But I'll let the Navy have the first hit. Let's look. Russian Navy actually not getting hit back. It's a big one. Let's get some distance here. Let's see how the artillery responds with not getting hit back, doing a similar amount of damage actually. This is... oof, that makes me kind of unsure that the howitzer might have had a chance against the battleship, but without these thingies, could be that the artillery might have it in the bag. It's a super close duel. I'm not even sure who's going to win this. Oof, 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 oof. The artillery getting hit and not being able to hit back by a big one. On the other hand side, the same happens for the artillery. Oh my god, this is far too interesting. Probably the battleship would have won. Even the freaking frigate might win here. Come on, Ottoman artillery. You're embarrassing yourself. They're embarrassing themselves. The freaking Navy actually won. Can't believe it. So the destroyer advances, I mean, for the battleship to the final. I guess we'll have to do the same thing once again. Using the freaking... okay, once again, I'll have to try to make this smart so that both can hit, but Navy goes first, getting a decent damage in, actually. Was the armor car going to respond? They're going to hit for 59, but getting damaged quite a bit in the process. The armor car is getting... oh my god. Can't believe it. How come this freaking destroyer is such a monster? Well, he can't get hit back. It's one obvious answer. Yeah, the Navy is absolutely wrecking the armor car right here. I cannot believe it. It's not even the best. The battleship would have just melted all of these enemies. But right now, there's an interesting situation going on. The Navy might actually lose all its morale. So let's see what happens. They'd have to hit again, not get the morale loss. They actually lost their morale. Imagine if there's the biggest comeback in history. Oh, well, the ship can't attack. What do the Ottomans do? They try to hit. They go for 21 more damage. The Russians still can't move. Oh my god. This might be the luckiest win ever. This might actually be... Can they hit? Can they hit? They can hit, and this is the end. For the Ottoman dreams, they freaking destroyed everything. So I guess the best unit is a Navy unit, which will be the battleship. That's our winner. But let's still do the runners-up, which is... I will do the artillery versus the armor car. Okay, armor car versus artillery, and because artillery has a lot of HP, I'm just gonna let them hit first. Going with a 57 damage, interesting beginning. How can the armor car respond? They do 100 versus a 70, so the artillery overall still doing a bit more damage. But they lost morale, 53 damage, interesting. The armor car right now is winning, is having a very good start because the artillery is losing the morale, but this time it didn't lose it, which might be a bit of a destruction of the armor car. It's pretty close still. The armor car will need a crit. Does not get it. Let's see how the howitzer responds. The howitzer does 26 damage. Not quite over yet. Not quite over. But the armor car will lose this turn except... Yep. Okay, very, very close. But the howitzer actually is the second best unit. So we'll declare this first best unit is the battleship. From then on we have all of the navies actually, apart from the submarine, interestingly enough. So navy first, howitzer second, armor car and infantry. So this is a bit different than expected, but obviously I guess the more expensive units are better. Did you expect this outcome? Did you think the howitzer will get this crazy strong? And do you think that the navy will be as crazy strong? Please comment, share your thoughts on this tournament video. Give me further suggestions for tournament content. Special shouts to Victor SMG, Rovanian11, Martin Bar, Dodge 1937, Colette Yusha, Alexis Iniatolia, Andre Ailuai, and Bambo Robert for being the best members on this channel. You can become a member as well. Look at the description and click it. Become a member. Be a good guy. Have a nice and bye.